Hey everyone, and welcome to another crossover versus. Today it's Ready to Rumble taking on The Wrestler. 8 years apart. Now, Ready to Rumble was WCW's attempt of becoming relevant again. They lost the ratings in the war, so they went Hollywood and made this comedy. It was a major failure at the box office, but has become a cult classic. It's lightly quotable. There's that song, Jimmy King is the greatest wrestler. He's the bestler, better than all the wrestler. He's really fast. He'll roll ass. And the guy who plays Sherman is in it. So yeah, it's got a fairly good cast in it. Oliver Platt, Scott Kahn, David Arquette, Rose McGowan. Now, these two were in Scream, so seeing them play love interests in this is a bit weird, but weirder things have happened. And this was probably one of the weirdest things WCW did. They made David Arquette the world champion. He's done wrestling the last couple of years, and he's sort of redeemed himself. He's actually pretty good. You can see some of his matches, and he was nothing back in 2000, but last couple of years he's proven himself. He's on the indie circuit, and he showed up in WWE a couple of times, and people were like, haha, you screwed WCW. No, they screwed themselves. Now, you're probably wondering, what does this schlock comedy have in common with this well-written, brilliantly acted drama? Well, both center around a wrestler who ends up down on their luck after the high times. So, Jimmy King and Randy the Ram Robinson. Now, Jimmy King was influenced by Jerry the King Lawler and Ric Flair. Randy the Ram Robinson was inspired by Jake the Snake Roberts. Now, so you got these two former stars. The Ram, former world champion. Jimmy King, former world champion. So they have their fall from grace. Right? So you got Jimmy, he gets outed of the WCW and he takes to heavy drinking. Randy the Ram, he's done independent shows. He's offered this rematch with the Ayatollah, played by Ernest the Cat Miller. And he's fallen hard, he's taking up drugs, so there's a similarity. He goes partying a lot, and Jimmy King, he's just drinking, but he and the boys go on a road trip, and Randy the Ram is trying to get back with his daughter. He's trying to get more involved with his stripper friend. They go on a date or so, and so tiny little similarities there. And the Ram trying to reconcile with his daughter is similar to Jimmy King trying to reconcile with his wife and son. So they have a couple moments, and it falls flat, and yeah, Randy and his daughter, they have some moments, and then something works out, and then it falls flat. That's very strong. Now, the tiny little training parts and fights Jimmy King has is equivalent to the independent run the Ram has. There's like 3 moments where, Jimmy, he does training with Sal Banditti, played by the great Martin Landau. He goes back to Wyoming and does some training there, and he has that mini scuffle with DDP. Of course, the Ram has a couple of indie house shows. So there's the similarities. And yeah, there's a love interest, but Jimmy King doesn't have a love interest. That's between Gordy and Sean. And the Ram has a couple of flings. So there's a light similarity. So it builds up to the big main event, the rematch. And yeah, it's well shot in both films, but in Jimmy King's rematch, there's a whole lot of action. Happens in triple-decker cage. There's lots of interference. When the Rams, it's just 2 guys squaring off. And the film ends on a cliffhanger. Did Randy survive? Did he win? And yeah, it's been revealed he did. Jimmy King, he wins. He gets the gold. Everyone celebrates. So there's a few similarities between these 2 films. This is fantastic and the best look into wrestling. This is just a highlight of how goofy wrestling can get and how stupid WCW was. WWE did some stupid, questionable stuff too, but like they had their own movie in a sense, Beyond the Mat. Yeah, they didn't do a dorky box office bomb comedy. No, they did a documentary. And it has Jake the Snake, Terry Funk, and Mankind in it. And yeah, so what could be the 4th in this set? Like, there is the original The Wrestler from way back when, but yeah, that was okay. It wasn't wow. But when it comes to wrestling, these are like the standouts. Like, this for many wrong reasons, this for all the right reasons. And I'm pretty sure I grasped all the similarities of those 2 films. Now, there will be Star Wars versus Star Trek. And I want to say, in the Wrestler's case, why didn't Jimmy King become like an unlockable character? Why didn't Randy the Ram? Because their licensing and WWE doesn't want to involve themselves much with WCW, but he is a pop culture character. Like, people have made him. They've made Cause, as with the Ram, so. And, yeah, more similarities. Mickey Rourke was on a WrestleMania. It was so underwhelming. He was meant to have a fully fledged match with Jericho, but he just managed to trash talk and punch Jericho. And of course, we know David Arquette was in. So there's so many similarities with these movies, and they work well as a versus crossover. So next time it'll be Battle of the Stars, the bonus feature with Stargate. And then I'm going to go way into the future. Mad Max 2 crossover with Waterworld. There's more to come in this mini-series. Yep. Gone in 60 Seconds, Fast and the Furious. So much more. I'll scare you later.